My name is Blake. I'm an Eagle Scout. Not that that's gonna mean much in a given years or so. Um, so before I even start the video, video. Um, Let me know if you are going to want more of this content, because I don't even know what people are going to say or whatnot. But I really don't care at this point. It's basically me going to be ranting about everything and everyone. So let me know. So I'm kind of already, I've been fed up with the whole political system and everything. It's just kind of threw me in a deep depression. And I've been angry at everyone for no reason. Yeah, that's been real fun, trying to tell my parents why I'm angry and everything else. It doesn't help my grandmother's living with us from my mother's side, and that's been real fun. So it's been real fun. So yeah, I'm with a troop up in Geneva, and oh, I don't think it's just that troop. It's all the troops now, because Nationals raising they raised the fee to compensate for what's going on, and not everyone has that kind of money. So it's kind so basically National is screwing with the small people because they effed up. So yeah. And so apparently, I don't know when this merit badge is coming out, but apparently they're creating a new merit badge about racial tolerance. And I'm fine with it. It's just, a scout is supposed to instill good morals on the kids. And if you're not doing that already, which it's really not happening anymore, but I mean, when I was and I'm a leader now, but I mean, if you're just changing the whole curriculum, God, I can't speak. But if you're changing the whole structure of scouts, and to fit a narrative, well then, I'm sorry, but if I had my kid in scouts, just I don't have kids, then I'm pulling him out, and I'm teaching him what I wanted him to know, and what it's no longer about good moral. I mean, it is somewhat, but it's not what it used to be. And they have this. They have a cyber chip you have to own, and I'm fine with it. It's just that shouldn't be the responsibility. It shouldn't be the responsibility of leaders in the scout community to teach them how to be safe online. That should be the parents' job, along with discipline and hey, the parents in today are like, okay, go one off, go play with the phone, go do that. They don't care. I mean, we have a pack that directly integrates the troop. The and it's the parents. It just now, granted, you can't beat your child now because it's child abuse. But I mean, what happened to raising your voice? I mean, what happened to not having a cell phone until 14, 15, 13, 14, 15? I didn't get a smartphone until I was about 14 years old. I had a flip phone when I was about 10, and that was because I was riding the bus. My parents drove me sometimes before the bus, and that was because the school was not even that far. But parents are giving their children actual smartphones at the age of 5. Well, they're probably utilizing their parents, but at the age of 6, they're getting a smartphone or somewhere along those lines. But it's like, I'm sorry. If I was to have a kid, or adopt a kid, he or she is not getting a smartphone right off the bat. I'm sorry. You need to teach the child responsibility before anything. And if they can handle this flip phone for a good couple of years, then you can get them a smartphone. I'm not saying I know everything. No, far from it. No one knows anything. Everything. Half the people don't know anything. But I mean, I don't know if it's just me at this point or what, but have people gotten more intolerable, or have they always been like this? Because I was trying to go for a walk one day I think it was in October or something. I can't even go outside of the house now without being enraged. And to me, that's disappointing. Because I love being outside. I do. I'm an Eagle Scout. It's truly disappointing to me. Now, I truly believe in the scouting program. I do. It has helped me become who I am. But if you're going to change just about the whole curriculum, and turn it upside down, then there's a problem. Now I granted they kind of had to let the LGBT community in and the girls because times are changing. But the fact is, you're changing just about the entire ranking system and just about everything about scoutings. One thing I would actually like to see change in the melt badge department is wilderness survival become eagle required. And that's the only reason for that is because, one, I believe a scout should know how to build a file. Two, okay, maybe not the only reason. Two is because a scout should know how to survive in the wilderness because most of his time is spent outdoors. It's basic. It should be basic knowledge for a scout to know how to survive in the wilderness. And to me, the actual melt badge itself needs to be updated. Because the other day I was looking at the requirements. Last requirement actually states, why is it not a good idea to eat wild animals and wild plants in a survival situation? I do agree with the wild plants, only because if you can't identify them, you don't know what you're eating. Now with the animals, I'm sorry, if I'm starving, I'm going to eat an animal. But the all pamphlets that help you identify wild plants and such, but it's better to do it with someone who knows what they're doing, just because they can show you and you can see it for yourself. And same goes with mushrooms. Now mushrooms are even more difficult than wild plants. That being because most of them will kill you. With edible plants, you would most like some of them where you just get sick from. It truly kills me that, I mean, what happened to like just this whole political system and just, well, first of all, let me tell you, we're going to be able to kiss off First Amendment right goodbye, Second Amendment right. I mean, just, there's going to be some shit going down, that's all I have to say. I wonder, seeing how the left said, oh, Trump's not my president, can I actually denounce a new president already, seeing that's what they did? I'm just wondering. As soon as Trump won the election, they're like, oh, he's not my president. Can I do that? I swear, this is just, I swear, I keep playing this as a bad dream, and then I'm gonna wake up. Then I realize I am awake. See, the thing is, people don't realize that the USSR was communist at first, and then it briefly went to socialism. Granted, the Norwegian countries are socialist. In a way, yes. But not, they have socialist ideals. They're not fully socialist. Because if they were, the government, I believe that, I can't remember if the government owns everything. I have to check that out. Because basically socialist is almost exactly like communist, if I remember correctly. And I actually have a lighter here that says the USSR was a socialist country. I actually got this for a friend as well that was in my school. So, do we really want not so much a communist country, but something rooted within communism? Because socialist was an experiment done by the commies. I mean, I keep saying this quote: "For those who forget the past are doomed to repeat it." Now, don't quote me on that because it's not the correct. It's not quoted correctly. I can't remember the guy's name. He was born in Spain. Hold on, I have to pull it up my laptop. The only reason I'm quoting that is because most people tend to quote that when people are repeating history. And that's basically what's going on now. It just... it floors me. It truly does. The thing is, when they were tearing down the Civil War statues, okay, you want to waste history. Okay, you're going to repeat it. And when you do, I'm going to be laughing at you. So how about, this is actually not really funny, but it kind of my eyes it almost is. There was this person on Facebook I was arguing with. We were talking about in 2018 when they were throwing the red paint on the Civil Confederate statues. And I'm like, so you want to forget history? You want to repeat history? So you want people to repeat the Holocaust? No, forget the Holocaust. She was black, but that really doesn't matter. But she replies, "I would love for people to forget the Holocaust." Okay. So you want people to forget the Holocaust? Do you want them to forget Hitler, who committed such atrocities? I mean, it's after she said that, I had to put my phone down and walk away, because if I replied to that, I would have been the bad guy. It was just one of those things you had to walk away from. Okay, here's the actual quote. Those who cannot learn from history are doomed to repeat it. And it's by George Santana. He was a philosopher, poet, literature, and cultural critic. He was born in Madrid, Spain, and died in Rome, Italy. Okay. Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of links here between history and today. And the thing is about the media and everyone else, media doesn't give a shit about you or me. It doesn't. It only wants to follow its own agenda. Well, not really that, but it only gives a shit about ratings mainly. And then, on top of that, see, back in when that nation was being founded, yes, they still had people they wanted to see win the election or whatnot. Oh, be on the Brit side. But they would also still give you the actual facts. Not just this minuscule story and then blow it way out of proportion. Now, they did do that, I believe. Now, with the Boston Massacre and the news that covered it, no one knew what happened. I mean, who shot first? The Brits or the colonists? No one knew. We still don't know. So, now that's problematic. In a sense. For the news, because you can't really say, I mean, well, they did, but if you want an actual fact, you kind of have to do research. Does anyone in the news do research? Yes, they should. Do they now? It's called journalism. Do they do that? No. I mean, this is gonna become one of those years where you just want to crawl in a ball, cry your eyes out, and kind of like just fading out of existence. I don't know if it's the year or it's more mainly everything boiling up and exploded. Now, with the media covering the fact that, oh, all police are bad, da da da. Okay, you have to prove it was actual racism that was the motivation. You have to prove he actually went out of his way to kill the person. And then there has to be an internal investigation, because that's what happened. So it's an internal investigation, and if they'll prove, if they prove it, he actually did commit a crime, then there's an investigation. And if that all goes and says, well, he will be charged. But if there's no evidence to support any of this, well, he's on leave for the investigation. He's basically not doing anything because there's always there was an incident that happened. Now the media always jumps to the gun to say racist when there was a police and a black male, black female involved, or a person of color. Okay. Well, let's look at the facts. Did the person have it? Was the person armed? Was the person posing a threat to the officers? If they comply, I mean, just, it's simple. Comply. It is that simple. It's like the whole trend with Walmart and not showing your receipt. I don't know if that's still going on, but if you just show your receipt, it's like they don't need a warrant. I mean, they won't. I mean, it's just a precaution they are taking. It's like with Sam's and Costco. Are you putting up a fight because they'll places because they don't have a warrant, they don't have probable cause? With Walmart owns Sam's Club. They're a multi-million-dollar company. I'm pretty sure they're a billion-dollar company now. But it's simple. Comply with the officer. It's not that hard. Now, if he's in the wrong, ask for the supervisor. And if you know he's in the wrong, get his badge number, get his business card, ask for the supervisor. Now, when it comes to black on black crime, they aren't publicizing that. Why is that? Because it doesn't fit the narrative. I bet you that's why. black on black crime is more. It basically just about happens every single day. Okay. Detroit, Chicago, basically every major city is okay. Detroit has a history, and not really a good one, if I may. You had the major coal companies building in Detroit, and once the major layoffs happened in mid 1900s, 1950s, 60s, I can't remember when that all happened. I wasn't born. But they basically went overseas, laid off all the people that were working on Detroit, and yeah, left them stranded. So yeah, in Detroit, it's now what it is, because basically of rich people wanting cheap labor. You can boil it down to that, basically. Chicago, I wouldn't say it goes back to the mob. I wouldn't, really. Even though you probably could go back that far. You could probably even go back further if you wanted to. But Chicago always had a dark history. I'm pretty sure even when it was founded, it had a dark history. LA. Usually it's the places with the strictest gun laws that are